Last year, Jessie came to me with the idea of doing a podcast, and it was part of her BPD treatment homework assignment. We decided to start reconfiguring reality, which is how this all was born. So, I am Laura,
And I'm Jessie.
and today we're just going to talk to Jessie a little bit on reconfiguring reality, about where she's at, how she's doing, and the BPD treatment that she was going through in order to create the podcast. Is that correct?
Yes. I can't remember which skill it was, but yeah, like I have my whole book.
How long ago were you diagnosed with BPD?
Uh 2020 or 2020, I believe. Because I filed for divorce in 2020 and it was finalized that year. And part of the divorce agreement is because I was diagnosed or I was misdiagnosed before. First I was diagnosed bipolar disorder 1, and then another time I was diagnosed bipolar disorder 2. And so the mediation team, since there was no like consensus, it was like, can you please just do that and get reevaluated? I was like, sure. And that was like a 3-month waiting period because COVID, everybody was going through
Mm-hmm.
lockdown and everything, so there was a long waiting list. But they did it a lot differently, where like when I got diagnosed with bipolar disorder, it was more of just a psychiatrist asking me questions. And then it was like the moment they asked about family mental illness, and I said my mother was bipolar. I never asked her if she was 1 or 2. Um, it
They
was like
just
right then and
automatically
there, they
assumed.
automatically assumed, because yes,
Mhm.
genetics does have a lot to do with most mental health.
Do you still
Um,
hold the bipolar
no,
diagnoses?
I was also 100% honest during my evaluation this time. Like I didn't hold anything back. I didn't lie, which helped a lot. Because there are, well, we already went through it, but I ticked every single box for BPD. Well, the other times I would lie about, of course, oh no, I don't self-harm. No, I don't do this. No, I don't do that. Because
And I know
it
we've talked about BPD before, but can you remind the listeners what BPD is?
it is borderline personality disorder. There's 9 symptoms of BPD, and I ticked every single box because I was fully
Honest.
honest about it. So the fear of abandonment, unstable relationships, unstable self-image, impulsivity, self-harm, and suicidal behaviors, extreme mood swings, chronic emptiness, inappropriate anger, and paranoia and disassociation. I don't have the paranoia, I have the disassociation. So I can, and a lot of people can tell now, like when I do disassociate, they can actually tell when I'm disassociating myself from my feelings. It's easier to do it in person, like seeing me do it, because I guess there's like a look, I
Uh
guess.
huh. Have I
But
called you out on that one yet?
yes, not in a mean way or anything, but you're like, maybe we should act like we're not hiding ourselves and our feelings.
Yeah.
But
I,
no,
I
it
I I tend to pick up subtleties with you. I think that's because we haven't known each other very long, to be honest. But there was just something about you that clicked in me,
Yeah.
you
And
know,
I'll admit there we lately we've been getting a lot closer, but that's because of
the
other
situations.
situations. But no,
We don't need
it's
to go
one of
into those.
no.
Let's not, please.
Ugh. But no, like even people that I knew, like he who shall not be named, you know exactly who
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about.
I
I knew
do, I
him for
do.
10 years and he could not tell anything.
Mm.
But you and Bubba and other people that I've known, but I've been open and honest with about, hey, I'm struggling. I'm not really feeling it. And stuff like that. It's easier when and it's been getting easier for me to not have that fear of abandonment. And
Good.
especially lately, it's the does this person bring me joy or does this
Hmm.
person
Cause
cause
me panic.
stress and anger and panic, anxiety, like the list goes on and on. And so yes, my
Right.
circle is getting a lot smaller, but it's getting smaller with the people I trust and I can spend time with and be like, if I'm struggling, it's okay, well, why are you struggling? And it
Yes.
actually, the focus is on me and it does not turn into, oh, well, I've had a hard day. I I'll admit I quit therapy. I didn't I was not spending the time with the people who were pushing me to stay in therapy. I was spending time with people who were like, "Oh, but we want to spend time with you and
You don't
why do
need
you have
therapy. It's
yeah."
fine.
But then
No.
comments are made and stuff like that later on and it's like, "Oh, you think I'm off my medication? I'll show
Mm.
you me off my medication then."
No, no,
But
no,
no.
no.
No. Like
And
I
I know
will
you've been
admit
having medication issues because of insurance and stuff.
yeah, like I will admit cutting certain things and certain people out of my life have made it a lot easier for me to not stabilize, manage my emotions better without having my medication. Because like I'm sitting there, I was like, wait, I haven't had a depressive episode where I don't want to get out of bed yet. And usually about this time I do. And I can tell I'm getting in a little bit of a depressive mood because like my TV shows aren't keeping me occupied. I don't want to RP. I don't want to get out of bed, but I have to because I have to adult. I have kids to take care of. I have bills to pay. So I force myself to do that, but I went months without taking naps after work and now it's every day it's like, "Hey, I need to lay down."
Yep.
Yeah, it may only be
I've
for an
noticed that
hour.
actually. I've noticed you taking a lot more naps
Like on
this
the
past
weekends
couple weeks.
yeah, on the weekends I'm proud of myself, but it's also it's to help me like cuz I've been struggling sleeping too,
Mhm.
and I don't want to cuz I don't even when I was on medication, I did not and I talked to my psychiatrist about this. I did not take any like I don't know what they're called, but like Xanax, stuff like that for my anxiety. I
Mhm.
don't like taking that because I do have an issue with medications like that that make me all warm and fuzzy where I just like that feeling. So it's I'm going to keep popping them even though I don't need them. So I'm like, I will not take them. Do not prescribe
Good
them.
for
They will
you.
not get filled. And I've
Good
done
for you.
that. I've done that for oh, 10 years. Like I had Liam, they're like, "Oh, well, we'll prescribe you." Nope, don't want any pain medication.
Mhm.
I I did that since Liam was oh my god, so that's like 13 years almost, 12 cuz Liam's 12. But before
Dang.
then, yeah, like I always had chronic back problems. Well, I found out it was me manifesting it psychologically. There was nothing physically because as soon as I moved up here and got away from everything that was happening, back pain went away. Like I pinch my nerves and stuff now,
Right. So
but
I have an adverse reaction to most medications, which is why I don't medicate. So I get it.
yeah, but so I we they were talking about passing legalization of recreational marijuana, and she's like, well, she's like, if you use that, she's like, if it starts to becoming a problem where you're using it all day every day, then we're going to have to discuss it. But literally between 9 and 10, I will use it. I'll take a couple puffs off my little vape, put it away, and I go right to sleep, usually within an hour. But it's just I can tell I'm getting a little depressed, even though, yeah, it's like, oh, I'm getting up, I'm going to work, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm leaving the house, I'm taking the dogs on walks and stuff
You're
like
just
that.
putting on a show.
Yeah.
You're moving through the motions.
And that's why, like, this week I'm kind of like, you know what? I do not want to ruin RP for me. So I'm like, I'm going to just step away for up until like Friday, because I gotta get shit done. Like, even during work, because it's like, oh, I can go in, I can get stuff done for everybody. And it's just like, ugh,
Uh-huh.
I don't want to, I don't want to, I don't want to. And I told myself, I'm not forcing myself to go in if I really don't want to, because that's what kills it for me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I feel horrible right now, but I'm like, for me right now, I'm like, because otherwise I'm just gonna say, fuck it, I'm done. I'm disappearing for a couple months, people. Like I
Okay, so I
usually do.
I I need to say, good on you for taking care of you and focusing on you first.
It clicked in my brain Saturday that I needed to take a break. Like, I did the stupid thing in the other city, and then I was like, okay, I'm done. Bye, guys. And they were like, well, where are you going? I was like, I'm done. I'm not staying. I came in, I said I would. You guys kept pushing the date back. I came in, I did it. I'm leaving. Because I didn't want to sit there and force myself in all week and then ruin this weekend. But it's just, I've noticed how to kind of tell when I need to step back from things. And with the group we have, I know I'm not going to be judged at all compared to other groups where I would even just take a day off. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
we needed you. Why? What was so important you needed specifically just me? Yeah, I also do struggle with the differences in personalities that we run into sometimes. I am happy and content. I have actually an amazing support system now. And I've noticed that the people who I've included now in my support system that I didn't because of other people, I probably would be a lot further in my not healing journey, because it's never going to go away, but in my ability to handle things better,
Yeah.
because other people don't make sly comments or make sarcastic comments or put my information on blast to other people. And I know I'm supposed to forgive and move on, but some things just,
But forgiving is for yourself. It's not for the other person.
yeah,
So
and
yes, you should forgive. You should forgive the person who's wronged you for your sanity, not for theirs.
yeah, and I'm working on it slowly. Like, I actually talked about it today, and I told someone a comment because we had a discussion, and I was open and honest with her, and I was like, you also have to understand this other person is not like anybody else, and when they see me hurting, they want to burn the frickin' world to the ground, and whoever
Mm-hmm.
caused that pain. And the comment I got back was that, well, it's going to happen anyways, they need to deal with it. No, that's not
That's
how a friendship works. You don't expect to hurt each other or make each other cry or make the other one insecure about certain things.
no. I think a friendship should be along the lines of I'm gonna help lift you up
Yeah,
so
like,
that
and
you can see your worth.
that's the thing, like, I am learning who does that, and I need to get better at it, I know I do. But it's just one of those things where I have decided I know exactly what I want now. I'm getting it, and I'm not going to apologize for that because I have always been a people pleaser. I
Uh-huh.
don't like the waves being rocked or whatever.
And I'm a
But
fixer.
yeah, so for me, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, we're moving
Maybe
on.
that's why we work.
I
Maybe
know.
that's why we work.
But no, it's and like I sit there and I butt heads with your husband all the time.
Most people do.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's just like I only have to deal with him once in a great while. And I've learned to just let his comments roll off my back like a water off a duck's back.
Uh-huh.
And
I could go on and on about that topic.
maybe one day we won't butt heads so much, but one of those things.
Doubt it.
Yeah, probably not, but maybe it won't be so once I get better with regulating my emotions. Because there have been I will admit there have been times I've let my emotions fly to the point where I've even told you, Laura, I'm not doing this podcast with him tonight. And then,
Yep, I know that. And I'm proud of you for staying in those podcasts.
oh yeah, like
Yes.
unless it's something like important where like, hey, look, I can't make it. This just came up, and it's something to do with the kids.
Yeah.
Or if I am feeling like total garbage, like I'm laying in bed and I'm not even getting up to game or anything like that, then I'm think I've only missed a couple. There was one I slept through.
Yes.
It's one of those things where it's changing who I surround myself with, I think has been the best benefit.
Have you talked to your psychologist about your changing your inner circle?
She hinted towards it, but
Has she noticed a difference?
she has actually. And especially in the last like month and a half. So
Good.
she's noticed a huge change. She's actually very proud that I'm setting my boundaries and I'm sticking to them with specific things.
Good. And
And
I am as well, by the way.
well, and
I'm very proud of you.
she's also happy at the fact that I am sitting there and I'm being more open with people and not worrying about, okay, this is how I'm feeling. What this said made me feel like this. It's just I'm choosing who I say it to because I know it's not going to be turned around on me, and it's actually
Right.
helping relationships become stronger, and it's helping a lot of actually, like, my abandonment issues where it's like, "You know what? We're gonna have this hard conversation." Yeah, one specific person does have to be like, "Please just tell me. I'm not gonna get mad. I'm not gonna tell." They just have they reassure me that I am a safe space.
Uh-huh.
Please tell me if I did something to upset you or hurt you, and we will talk about it and we will fix it. There's no
Yes.
yelling, there's no screaming, there's no you're just crazy or oh god, you're overthinking. It's I know you overthink. I am here to reassure you. Let's talk about it.
And I try to, especially with you and a few other people, I try to show you a different perspective of the situation.
Yes. And your perspective has helped me a lot when it's like, well, why don't we look at it this way? And it's like, oh, I never thought of that.
Yeah. So sometimes I can't see that in my own life, but I can do that for other people. It's
Yeah,
like my
see, and
superpower.
I'm the same way. It's like everybody's like, "Oh, you have so much going on in your life." Yeah, but if we talk about what's going on in your life, I forget about what's going on in my life. So let's discuss you.
Yeah.
I think I just started telling you it's like, "Hey, I'm really struggling today."
Yeah. Yeah, and I appreciate you coming to me because I want to be a supportive friend to you.
Yeah, and like I can kind of tell. It's just I haven't gauged yet where if I can tell you're having a rough time, if it's feeling, hey, what's going on?
You're never gonna know.
Yeah,
You
well, like I can kind of get
you
take like
never.
little hints, but then I'm like, wait, is she really having a rough time, or am I just overthinking
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
So
I'm gonna.
that's why like I'll sit there and be like, hey, what's up? How you doing?
I try to hide myself from everybody as a way to protect myself. You all know who I am. I'm an open
Mhm.
book, but there's still walls that are
Oh
have yet
yeah,
to come down with everybody. So
like even with Bubba, I can mask it with him, and then he'll get mad because I'll drop the ball and say, "Oh well, I've been struggling for a while," and he's like, "What? You told me you were fine," and I was like,
yeah,
"Well,
but I'm sorry. Bubba should know. Bubba should be able to sense it.
oh, he does, but he also knows that if he tries and pushes it, I will
It's not
just
going to end
totally,
well.
yeah,
Yeah.
I will totally just shut down and I will ghost him, and like he is the only. Okay, no, there's two people who have my location. One is getting it revoked. Um, he literally, I will sit there if he doesn't talk to me, or it's he can tell if I'm giving him like one word answers. He's like, okay, something's wrong. She's not ready to talk about it, and
Yep.
he knows I'm not going to push it. So he'll just check up on me, or he'll send me stupid gifts. But if I'm not as talkative and everything, he'll send me a snap so I open it so that he can make sure, okay, she's at home. Not in
Yes.
like a weird stalkerish way, but it's just like
She's
I just want
safe.
to make sure
She's
she's
safe.
safe
Yeah.
and everything. So I and when I take trips, he's also like, when you get to the hotel, just open it, send me something. That way I know if you're dead, I know where to find your body. It's one of those things where like RP, it was a safe space until like my business got put out there. That's part of the reason why I left a specific city. I am comfortable with having a small circle. Like I don't talk to most of my family. They One of my sisters told me, "Oh, you just need your chakras aligned and this and that." And I believe in that. Don't get me wrong. I believe in that stuff for some things, but it ain't gonna fix me. Like I'm not, and I'm learning to not look at myself as broken. It's more of I'm spicy in a
Uh-huh.
good way. So it's one of those things where I'm just like, I'm not looking at it as a negative anymore because statistically, probably the majority of people at least have dealt with depression, if not something more serious. And yes, I have a nice long laundry list. I will joke about it all day, every day that I'm crazy. I got a doctor's note a mile long. But then there are some days where I just, I don't want to discuss it. I don't want to be treated differently. And some people can't do that,
Right.
where then it sets me off. And I'll admit I have a hard time managing my emotions when I'm trying to explain why I'm upset with someone, or trying to explain why I feel the way I do, because a lot of times the person I am upset with can't take accountability. And it's a
Hmm.
lot of people. I even can't take accountability. I've gotten a little better, a little, not much, a little, but it's progress.
Let me just tell you how fun it was when you and somebody else were having an anxiety attack at the same time, like a panic attack,
Mm-hmm.
and you both react very differently in that situation, and trying to keep it so that you no, she's really not mad at you. No, he's not mad at you.
Yeah. Well, and you would be proud of me. The person I thought was mad at me, I actually have been very open with and been like, you know what? This is what I'm feeling. And then they just reassure me. And it's like, okay, are we okay? Yeah. Like I really, 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 really wanted to be part of a gunfight. So that's what I did Monday. And my anxiety shot through the freaking, like, I was shaking, I was hyperventilating, and he got downed partly because he was worried about me. And I was like, okay, if this is gonna be an issue, we are not being paired up anymore. And he's like, well, no,
We
he's
need
like,
to do the arena more when you get like
oh
that.
yes, I love arena. It was just, I know
Some
you
days I
struggle
do, some days I
sometimes. Yeah.
don't. That
So
last
on the
time, I don't know
days,
what was the problem.
and that's why I was like, you know what? No, go do a thing. We will keep doing it. And when you want to, you just bring it up. I'm always down for it because it does help me get better. And that is another thing is I'm trying to not let my self-sabotaging and my self-doubt trickle in like during the gunfight. Yes, I will admit I had my two security blankets with me,
Uh huh.
and they're both telling me you did great, you did fine. I would not call out on the radio, but I was like, oh, the people. And they're like, where? I'm like, right there. It's one of those things where I'm stepping slowly outside of my box, where
Good.
I'm not letting my anxiety, okay, the one Saturday that everybody was there, that was gonna happen regardless.
Yes,
There's
but you did
way too many
great.
people.
You did great.
Well,
You
and
did.
it is like RP is a huge part of my life because it does. I get to escape reality, but I also get to spend time with the people I don't get to see at
Yeah.
all, really. And that's the
Yep.
thing. Like everybody's like, "Oh, well, you can't have friends online." I was like, "Dude, these people. I understand you're not supposed to talk to strangers and shit." I was like, "But these people are family compared to like my
Yep.
biological family." I'm like, I talk and spend more time with these people than I do anyone else. I was like, these people know stuff about me that they probably wish they didn't know. I was like, but I was like, why do you
Huh.
have to go physically be with someone to consider them a friend is how I look at it. And my therapist did tell me that she hates when people say you can't be friends with someone unless you physically go hang out with them. She's like, because I can guarantee you probably tell these people more about yourself than you tell me. I was like, well,
R-
yeah.
Right.
I was like,
Right.
even though I know she doesn't judge me and all of that kind of stuff, like I know she's a safe space. It's that like last year when everything happened at like the start of the school year, I was honest with her. I was like, I'm not going to do it. I was like, but there are times I drive home and I wonder how fast I have to go to flip my car off the goddamn bridge. I won't do it because, yes, of my children. Like they are my reason for living. They always will be to a point. And when they're 18, their butts can go be. No, I'm joking. But and she's just like, well, that's natural. She's like, what scares me is if you would do it. I was like, I'm like, and I've had to explain to some people, and you get two different responses because like people will be like, well, why do you self-harm? I was like, because it's the one thing I can control. I get to decide how much, how deep, how often. That is the one thing I can control. I have full 100% control over it. I was like,
Uh huh.
I don't do it for attention because I don't tell people when I do. I will say it's been almost 2 years though. I'm freaking proud of myself on that. Like Bubba didn't even know for the longest time until she was like, well, maybe you should start telling some people and see how they react. I was like,
Uh
what if
huh.
they leave? She's like, well, then do you really want them in your life if they can't handle you when you're at your lowest? She's like, because
Right.
yeah, everybody can be around you when you're happy and you're masking and you're acting like everything's fine. She's like, but what happens when you're at your lowest and you need someone at 2 a.m., but you have no one to call? Like, I know I can call specific people at 2 a.m. and be like, I need someone to talk to, and they will drop everything. Like, I am that person where I am stupidly loyal to a fault. Like, people can hurt me in ways
But we're
that
working on that, aren't
yes,
we?
I am very much so, and I am very proud of myself. And I did actually talk to my therapist about cutting certain people out, and she's like, "Well, why do you think you need them?" And like we went through like a stupid pros and cons list, and the majority of people I have decided to step back from, there are a lot more cons than pros. And
Uh-huh.
then she would sit there and be like, okay, well, look at all these pros, but all these cons, but you get all these pros with less cons with this person. So why wouldn't you just get closer to this person because you wanted to get closer to this person, but can't because
This
you're
person's keeping you from doing
conflict
so.
of interest and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And it's one of those things where I also don't want to be introduced and brought into groups of people I don't associate with, even in RP.
Yeah.
I have no want or need to get to know some of these people. I am forced to interact with them in a city. Outside, I could care less what they do with their lives or how they live their lives or if they want to be friends. If they want to be friends, tough shit. I am keeping my frickin' peace, people.
I think that's where we need to end it, though.
Yep.
That is going to be it for today's podcast. Just catching up with Jessie here. Um, Please come back and visit us next time.
Like, share, subscribe.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye. No feet
Share,
pics. Sorry.
subscribe. Nope. No
I gotta.
Patreon.
I no Patreon, no feet pics this week. That's a Jericho thing.
Yup.